What's up, guys? Brick City here with another bubble deck profile from YCS Chicago. We got Avery Foster here. He played a pretty interesting deck. So yeah, just go and tell us what you played, how you did, all that stuff.
Howdy, neighbors. I played Danger Orcust OTK attack deck. Ed Deception piloted a similar deck. Him and I worked on the deck together, but there were some distinct changes between his deck and my deck. Plus, there were some intricacies in the deck I feel like he didn't really cover in the deck profile that I will. The deck performed super well. I lost out the second to last round. Two losses were the things I feel like were out of my control, but one loss was within my control. And one of my losses probably had something to do with deck building, so there was things I could have done for the event that would have been better. But even just for the deck list itself that I'm playing right now, one of the losses was because of me. So, I mean, whenever you're at a YCS, just one loss is all it takes to knock you out. So, just play better. The deck performed really well. So, for the deck, we chose to go second. And the logic was we kind of wanted to play it like BA, where we just link climb up to try and kill them. Because BA seemed like a good deck that has good matchups all around, but the issue was it was 5 to 6 card comboing instead of 2 card comboing, and this deck kills you with any 2 monsters, which lets you have every other card in your hand and every other card in your deck be an extender. So for the 6 normal summons, I chose cards that make you kill through multiple stops by themselves, like Denko Sekka. It's good against every matchup except for Thunder, and against Thunder, if they're not doing the Guard Dragon thing, I felt like none of their Thunder boards were super oppressive, and you could just break them and a lot of the times kill through them. Medenko is good against every other deck, so like all of the rank up decks, plus like Striker, Altergeist, Trickstar, Subterror kind of showed up. Best normal summon was Skyblaster. Thought about Ibly, but this card's just Ibly but better, just because it gives you access to like make a Phoenix or something prior to clear out a card prior to your mermaiding, because all Ibly can do is mermaid versus this card just does a lot more. In other danger decks in the past, what this card's always had to do was you reveal a danger, you hope not to snipe this, you summon a danger, and this gets you 2 monsters or 2 tokens, which like even though that's good and you still do that sometimes depending on what they have. If you need more monsters, you have multiple normal summons. In this deck, what you can do is just normal summon this prior to revealing dangers, get a token, and any 2 monsters is an OTK because of your Orcust engine, so it's just better like that. Play a small Orcust lineup. 5 cards. This is actually a World Legacy card. This foolishes a Dark Machine from deck, which is any of these. This is a Graph, summons an Orcust, which is either of these. This is a Seer, so it summons an Orcust only, which is this, or the Link 2 that you'll see in the extra deck. This is a World Legacy, so the only way to get to this one is by foolishing or summoning off of Summon Sorceress, but summoning off Summon Sorceress is really common, or you just draw it and then that just gives you an extra monster to play with, and then you have to and then you can Summon Sorceress, target something else, or summon the second one out of deck, and it's the same number of monsters either way. So none of these Garnets, unless you specifically draw 2 of these, drawing none of these hurts to play. And actually, like, if you draw the Nightmare or the Harp, which is the Graph, and then the Orchestrated Nightmare to summon off Mermaid, they function as extenders and let you do other weird plays prior to where you don't always have to Mermaid to kill. Then I played Dangers because they're the best extenders in the game right now. There's free monsters, plus my deck has cards that are nice in Graveyard. Plus you can draw multiple normal summons, and these work really well with Denko Sekka because you need ways to put monsters on board after the normal summon whenever you're not normal summoning. Cards are crazy. Thought about Chupacabra, but Mothman was just the best one to get sniped if I'm not playing upwards of like 15 plus dangers, because I didn't want to have Chupacabra and only have 9 other dangers to summon, because I felt like I draw Chupacabra by itself, or I just draw it while comboing and there's a chance I hadn't seen a danger yet. I played 3 Deshudo Mermare. This is different than in normal combo decks because previously this is always the last thing you try and do because you always want Yazi Mermare to resolve because this is like your bomb that kills them. In this deck, you need 2 monsters to kill them, so that's usually the Orcust engine, so you'll try to use all your other cards to simplify the game state and just extend. So that's what this does, is this will eat a card through Yazi, and then this one, they don't just like let this card resolve, and if they have no choice but to let this card resolve, then you're winning anyways, because this card just generates 3 cards, which is Nightmares popping and drawing, and then Broilsword by itself before even using the Orcust package, so it lets you play around everything. Like the Baby Dragons, although they lose to Colossus, they're just crazy extenders because they make you chain block your Phoenixes, and like they make you chain block all your Nightmares so you can protect from like Ashes, Strikes, stuff like that. Cards were crazy, and they also gave you constant discard fodder, like so where you draw these, use both of them, and then have this one to discard off of a Nightmare effect, which was just really good because you just always want to have extra cards in this deck in hand because of dangers. That's why we play Sekka's Light and this. I played 6 Kaijus. I always wanted to see one. They're pretty good in every matchup except Altergeist, but even in that matchup they have applications. This one we chose because you can summon Sorcerer's target a Nightmare and then summon this, or because it's dark, so you can summon it after Orcust comboing, which is kind of relevant if you like Orcust combo and then Danger into it or Sekka's Light into it, whatever it might be. This one's a light, so it works with Collapse Serpent, because Collapse Serpent's kind of a brick, but you can have Wyvern Buster, this card, or Denko in graveyard, so like you do have lights. Also, if you summon Sorceress, target this, like you Kaiju them, Sorceress target it, you can summon an Orcust out of deck. So randomly, like if you get stopped by a bunch of hand traps and all you had was Kaiju in this, you can still combo off of that and still try and kill them. So this card was crazy. 3 Sekka's Light. Card's cheating. So going to the extra deck, the most important card of the extra deck is Boral Sword. You make this card almost every game. You don't always have to make it to kill them, but it's just ape deck, like attack. You make it almost every hand. Randomly, there's times where you don't, but usually whenever you don't, it's whenever like you need a Borload to kill, and then you still just go for game. I only played 1 Mermaid. Same reason you only played 1 Isolde. Whenever it works, it works. And you have like outside, pushes outside of the Orcust engine, so as long as you get to the Orchestrated Nightmare, you don't need multiple of these. Played 2 Phoenix, just because a lot of the times, this was the first one I wanted to make, and then sometimes what you do whenever you're making Mermaid is you just throw away a Nightmare, and I wanted to be able to throw away a Nightmare, summon, and then you summon this later to be able to draw a card. I played 1 of each of these. They were both really good. Pops the Kaijus you give them, and a lot of times you can set it up to redraw off every single Nightmare, so you see a lot of cards. This card, I don't play any of the Orcust spells or traps, so this card's not super good right now, but it still shuffles back in Orcust. So you can randomly, like, in the event you don't kill them, you have a full follow-up because you just shuffle back an Orcust, and then you skeleton this back, shuffle back another Orcust, and then you just get extra cards even after turn 1, which is just crazy. This card's crazy. Something cool you can do, a lot of times, this is a Dark Machine too, so that's how you summon the wand out of deck. You can also target baby dragons to special Destrudo. But cool thing you can do a lot of times if you have access to any 2 extra monsters is whenever you're at the point of Mermaid, you summon this before you summon the Orcust link with Mermaid and a link 2, and you just have this setting here, because that way whenever you link off with this and then the skeleton and a summon Sorceress, you skeleton back this, and then you summon Sorceress effect, and this is the only opportunity during the combo where they would possibly try an Ogre, because you can't get Ogred anywhere else, and these cards, they're co-linked like that, so they can't Ogre you, and that came up actually a lot.
It's the same thing with Boral Sword too, when you try and kill them. So
yeah, same exact combo with Boral Sword.
The deck just never gets Ogred.
Yeah, it's like just inherently, like if you just get access to any dangers or Mare or just randomly put 1 extra monster on board, the deck will just never get Ogred. 1 Borload. I don't like this card, but I played it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Like I made it a couple times, so like I don't think I cut it, but it's not Boral Sword. Link Spider, card's good. Triple Burst, it was a way to kill through Ray like pretty consistently. I didn't want to play it, but it came up like twice. Like I don't think I would have cut it.
It's more important now because they got that new Link monster that like negates a monster from attacking.
Yeah, like it's hard to kill like through Array if you don't have this.
Or a Kaiju or something like that.
Yeah, so like that can just come up. Like, because every time I wasn't drawing a Kaiju, this just gave me a way to do it. Played Yazi, card's insane. I wanted to play Brio or Savage Dragon, but I opted against it because I wanted more side deck space, because I played the Azathoth package. Even though you saw my main, I didn't main any PK cards. I sided them because we were choosing second, and this card was just a lot better going second. But we figured sometimes they just make us go first, in which case we can side the PK cards in, because we just do that, because Thunder will either make us go first or they won't, and oops, then we have these cards on our deck. But then we have something we can do going first, because as of right now, whenever they make you go first, you can't do anything in this deck with this exact current build. So usually whenever they make you go first, you just pass, because the only decks that make you go first are like Striker, and that deck can't kill you, so you just say okay, pass, and then they play, and then you still kill them. Side deck was a little weird. I played 3 PK cards. Thought about Cloak. In retrospect, maybe should have played Cloak, just because with the PK link, you kind of have to if you draw this. But the logic was, if you draw this one, then you have access to this one, which means that all you have to do is just cheese into 2 4s either way, but maybe I should have played Cloak. Any 2 monsters makes Azathoth, so that's just blowout against like the combo Thunder deck that'll make you do this. I could show a combo video for that later. But yeah, like these cards are crazy. I side decked 3 Twister, 3 Reboot. This is for Altergeist pretty much exclusively. I sided this against the combo Thunder deck that set Floodgates, but not the other combo Thunder deck. The issue with these obviously is it has confliction with Sekka's Light, so you have to side Sekka's Light out. But these cards, in the matchups they're good against, they're like bomb cards. Like if you see these cards, you win the game. Same with like Denko Sekka in the matchups it's good against. So even though there was a bit of confliction, I sided 3 Allure of Darkness, and then I lent it out, but 1 card destruction as well. The idea behind this was I just always want to see all of my bomb cards. So it was just good. Also, there wasn't any deck doing anything so oppressive that I felt like I needed the side deck spots. So, or in card destruction. Alright, so the Guard Dragon Thunder deck's crazy. If people start playing that deck, then I don't think I can do this. But there was not that many people playing the Guard Dragon Thunder deck, and if not, there wasn't that many people playing it well. But that's the only deck that I think does something so oppressive that I can't do anything about it. Because this deck inherently just beats the rank up decks. I sided 2 Ibly. Might seem weird, but it actually is like really good because you side this in any matchup that Denko Sekka is not good because you want to keep the normal summon count up. Also against Sky Striker, sometimes you don't want to make triple burst, or like whenever they have multiple hand traps, you don't draw a kaiju. Like you don't always have a way to like kill through Ray, but this is essentially a way to kill through Ray because you just swap out Sky Blasters for this, to where you just clear the Wink monster and then they can't bring back Ray, they can't do anything, so you just go for a game like a normal shot. Also, yeah, it's just good in matchups that Denko Sekka's out, and whenever I wanted to side in the PK engine, you have to side out Sekka's Light, which means like you're not seeing as many good cards. Like I wanted to put cards like this in because this is a 1-card starter card that gets you into this engine, because this is a 1-card Azathoth. And a card to discard, but yeah, this is a 1-card Azathoth by itself, and I'll show like combo videos for that later. And yeah, that was the deck. Performed really well. If y'all are interested in some combo videos, comment below, message us, do whatever you gotta do. Shout outs, big shout out to SSD, best sponsorship in the game, best team in the game. Honestly, like a family. We had a guy who topped with Cyber Dragons. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, the world to them, great group of guys. Shouts to the guys I went with: Deuce, Mark, Anthony, Eric. Shout outs to Ediception, cool guy. That's about it, I guess. Shout out to Quentin. But yeah, that was the deck profile. Y'all have a good one.